Hello, everyone. I don't know.
Oh,
I just
hi.
started
I
like
didn't
that.
see you there.
Apparently, I'm going up very many pitches at the same time. Hello, hello, hello. It is Friday, which means it's time for another paint and slay here with myself, the Muse, and Lauren up above. And this is going to be our last episode painting the Jabberwock from WizKids D&D Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures line. It's a very cool, very fun mini right here. For those of you who are new to joining us, hi, hello, and welcome. This is a mini that comes primed ahead of time, so all you have to do is pull out those paints and start slapping them on the mini. In a roundabout way. Not necessarily actually doing that, but it does go into the process of getting this guy good and ready to go. So we're going to be doing some finishing up of detail work and dry brushing, both on the body of the Jabberwock as well as the wings. And then we'll work on the base, and then we'll be doing some gluing, and then we'll be doing the wash. And as you all know who are, very much regulars, the wash is kind of where we would have to stop anyways.
Pretty much.
So once the wash is done, we'll do our little wrap up and everything like that. But before we get into finishing the Jabberwock, did we even name these yet? I don't think we've given them names, have we?
I
Or did
thought
we?
we did
Did
have
we?
names from.
We
I
did.
thought there were names, or at least. Oh, I seem to remember those names came up.
It was.
I'll
That's
take
right.
a
That's
look
right.
real quick.
We keep jumping between minis, and then I had another mini thrown in between for good measure. So my brain's just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Did we?
yeah.
Did we?
I'm looking up last week's questions real quick because I thought it was in there. But what did we need to talk about before we jump into this mini?
We have fun announcements, like something that just sort of came out right about nowish, right?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
cute.
Extra Life.
Look
Yay!
at that face.
So, long-time fans of either Idle Champions or Codium Entertainment know that we try to do a big Extra Life event in November. And guess what? That's happening next week at this time-ish. We're going to be doing a 24-hour live stream with bunches of oats of funness, D&D games, Q&As, speed runs, bunches of things going on. And on Monday, you can purchase in Idle Champions Flapjack, the Pirate Flump Familiar, which I have to say with that spacing because it's hard to say otherwise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Flump, the Flapjack is absolutely adorable. All of the net proceeds of all Flapjack sales, the net proceeds of all Flapjack sales from the first week of release, so starting on Monday, will be donated to Extra Life. There's also an Extra Life page you can go to, and we're going to be having a bunch of different events and prizes. So check out the blog that just went live. Well, that's been live for a little bit on our site for lots of details. Bushwhacker is joining us to do fun stuff as well, like they always do. So yay, Flump. So that'll be happening on Monday. We wanted to give you kind of the heads up on Monday. You know what else is happening on Monday? Cool Idle Champions presents Hunger of the Far Realms, episode 5. We're almost at the end.
Yeah, we're at the penultimate.
Yeah, we're almost at the end.
Right.
Well, in some ways, it's like, how did it already get to this point? In other ways, it's like they've spent a lot of time in the Far Realm already, and things are getting wild. Things are getting wild. So you can check out all of the previous episodes on the Idle Champions YouTube page, where they're all up there for your perusing pleasure. And then this Monday at 4:00 Pacific on this stream, on this channel, you will be able to watch episode 5. And I am super excited. And now, finally, with Virgil being out in the game, everybody who is in Hunger of the Far Realms is now available in Idle Champions for you to enjoy as a champion. I love this key art so much. It's so good.
I want to find a fan that looks like that. I'm not even kidding.
Right? Right?
Dusky me.
Yeah. and then when you find it, we need to buy a bunch and we need to send one to Brian, and
absolutely.
then I want one.
Yeah. Like I'm like, someone has got to have something going on with LED or fiber optics of like a light up fan. There has to be something out there that.
Oh yeah.
Because that
I'm sure.
This is where my brain goes.
Sure.
I get crafty.
No, No, and it's just because this fan is so amazing. And yeah, if you are playing Idle Champions, the event that's going on right now, Feast of the Moon, does feature Virgil. You can unlock Virgil, and you can unlock 2 Heroes of the Plains. Both Penelope and Whittle are available. So I have, in my Idle Champions game, right now, 3 of my parties are just working on chests for all 3 of those champions because I'm like, well, I need all the chests. Here we go. So yeah, enjoy unlocking Virgil. And I think that's everything.
Well, we also have the, hold on. There we go.
Oh, yes.
Look what we
because so today is a holiday in Canada, and I mean it's also Veterans Day here in America, but it is a holiday that's the Canadians get off, and so we did not have a chance to announce the weekend buffs are up. It's the Sword of Graz weekend. Graz. And so you can go, those champions right there will be getting buffs throughout the whole weekend. There is the chest, the Graz chest is available.
See, I'm Italian and I feel like you're missing something. It's like there's a word missing when you say Graz. I'm like, ZA?
There were a couple times when typing that out, like the Sword of Graz chest, and so there's multiple apostrophes, and I'm like, this is the most D&D thing I've ever written in my life, with 2 apostrophes. But yes, so if you don't see that now in your game, go ahead and give it a little refresh, and you should have the sort of Graz weekend going on right now. And now I think that's everything.
Yes, it is. Now we good. All right, so let's get this jabber. Oh no. Nope.
I forgot. I always forget something. So we do have the amazing Jordan in our chat as our moderator. Hi, Jordan. Jordan is going to be grabbing questions from chat as we will be focusing on mini painting. So if you do have a question for V and I about the Jabberwock and mini painting and Idle Champions and all the stuff that we've discussed, or if you have other questions, go ahead and put those in chat with question in big capital letters so that Jordan can grab it and save it for us so that when I am working on eyeballs, I'm not missing out on your question.
Exactly.
There. That was the last thing I needed to say.
That's ba-dum-dum-dum. So now we're going to switch over to the painting part, and we want to start with Stonewall Gray because if you're here for last week, you know that this portion of the body, we did some dry brushing with Stonewall Gray. We're going to do the same thing to the inside of the wings. And we'll do Stonewall Gray dry brush throughout the whole entire texture area of the inside of the wings. Then we're going to start mixing paints a little bit and working on the body and the outside of the wings and dry brushing those up and then working our way through getting this lovely, gorgeous miniature all done.
All done. Yeah.
All done.
All right. So Stonewall Gray dry brushing on the inside of the wings. So the part that's closest to the body, and then the whole inside, or just like
the entire inside, but you're going to not do the edging here. Okay, so you're going to avoid this part here.
Okay.
So you can get that done. And once we get the dry brushing of the entire wings done, then we're going to go to the talons. Because I'll tell you this right now, you're going to find these talons are going to help us when we have to dry brush. And it gets really awkward to paint the talons and then try and hold them while they're wet. So yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense.
Yep. So just a nice, good, sturdy dry brush to get yourself going. Keep in mind, these wings have some gorgeous leather texture to them. So when you pull the brush, you actually want to hold the wing. So it kind of looks like your hand now that I'm realizing that. So you're going to hold the wing so that you can actually pull across the texture, and that's really going to feature that beautifully. If you were to pull this way, you're going to start filling in those recessed areas of, not the recessions. Boy, have I been reading news too much. If you pull the brush along the recessed area, the same grain of it, it's going to fill in the blanks and it's not going to look as impactful. So just keep that in mind. Direction of your brush pull when you're dry brushing is crucial to keep in mind.
Yeah. And so you had said not to do the top edging. Are we also avoiding the spines down the
spines
down the wing?
The spines you're okay with.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure if I was only doing
edge.
The fleshy bits.
The fleshy bits, because it is.
I mean, that's what they are, right?
It is actually a thing, yeah.
They are dragon wings, so they are fleshy wings.
They are. So as you can see, I am pulling across it, and look at the details that are starting to pop up already. So we'll be doing this for a little bit. Just a forewarning, this is a large area. There's a lot to bring out, so welcome to dry brushing.
Welcome to dry brushing. It's very relaxing though.
Hmm.
Especially with a large area like this, it's a little easier to relax into the dry brushing and
Yeah.
not be quite as concerned with the, oh, am I painting or am I dry brushing?
Right.
Which is usually the thing I try to watch out for is when have I
Yeah.
started painting?
At
And
what
we do
point?
uh okay. Sorry, I got worried that something was wrong with the code, but apparently the Electrum chess code is okay, which is
Nope,
good.
we're good. It's
Um,
OBS didn't I opened up my OBS and a bunch of things didn't process through for some fun reason, even though I had it updated earlier today. And
oh
the
geez.
overlay, for some reason, it was one of those things that also got hiccuped again. I just fixed it on the fly.
Ah. I've got to update OBS. I should probably do that this
Yeah.
weekend because I
Have time to
actually had
fill.
avoided the last update because of some of the things we had heard
Hmm.
about. So but I think it's time. I think I need to just
Yeah, I
do it.
know.
Yeah, I should be good, but
This
but
wasn't,
I
yeah.
that wasn't so bad.
No, this wasn't even the
Didn't
OBS update itself. It's because I had a Windows update, which is then not communicating well with everything
Oh.
else for some reason.
Mm.
That's been fun. Like, at least I got the
Streamer life.
VPN figured out. That was not good.
Streamer life, yo. All
Mm-hmm.
that streamer life. But
Yes,
we do also
buddy.
have questions. Give me a
Questions.
second, because I might have done a little too much right there. Okay. Bellswin asked, Lauren, you mentioned last time that the paper plate sucked up all of the paint. Is there a better medium to mix paint on?
Yes.
There's a bunch of different stuff. I mean, I like the paper plate because it is cheap and easy, and I don't have to worry about ruining it. But yeah, V has and you've shown this off before. You've
Yeah,
got the
there's a
wet
few different
palette, and there's
options. Yeah,
yeah.
so there's, if you want like what the pros use, and honestly, I'm not using mine today because it's been a while since we've painted this mini. Pro tip: if you're using a wet palette and you're not going to use it for a couple weeks, just remember to throw out whatever you're working on if you're not worrying about blending paints anymore. Because if you leave that sucker cap for too long, it starts to mildew.
Oh, because it
Oh, it
stays wet.
reeks.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
reeks right now.
Oof.
I have to do like a thorough bleach clean of my wet palette today.
Aw.
After the stream. So don't do as I do. Treat your wet palette a little bit better. So you can use a wet palette, which is basically just a piece of sort of like spongy foam that you put into this tray, and then on top you put a bit of what looks like parchment paper or wax paper, and you can mix your paints on top of that because the paper is protecting the sponge, and then you have a lid that goes on top and keeps the moisture there. And because it's got this moist sponge underneath it, you've created a wet environment for your paint. So that's something you can do. You can also cheat and make your own versions of wet palettes by taking a kitchen sponge, one of those like Tupperware type of rectangular forms. If the sponge fits in there, great. Wet the sponge, wring it out, put it in, and then you, again, take parchment paper or wax paper from your pantry and cut it to size, and you pop that in and then just lid the thing up when you aren't using it. You can also use glass, believe it or not, or
Oh.
porcelain tiles. If it's something where you're not worrying about keeping the paint beyond a session, you can grab and this is so easy. If you just go to like a dollar store or a discount type of store, buy one of those cheap frames. It doesn't matter what stock photo image is in that frame. What you can do is take the glass piece out of the frame, or you can even keep it in the frame and mix your paints on top of that for your glass option. For your porcelain tiles, just go to a hardware store and you can buy the subway tiles. Are actually nicest because they're a little bit longer but not as wide, so you can kind of tuck them nicely next to your space when you're painting. So pick up just a plain old white tile. Those things are cheap, let me tell you. They are very cheap. And you can use ceramic tiles for your palette. Again, keep in mind, those won't last beyond a painting session, but it's another way to keep your paints from absorbing into a paper plate. I was going to say paper towel because I'm looking at one. At a paper plate, because the paper plates will absorb. Now, there is another option, but I don't like to talk about this option because it's not exactly environmentally friendly.
Mm.
Foam plates, they don't absorb. So you could use those too if push comes to shove and you can find nothing else. But from the bottom of my heart, please don't use the foam plates because they really are not environmentally sound. At least the paper plates will, biodegrade and everything like that. So that's
Exactly.
that's my little recommendation of if you don't want to get into wet palettes of what else you can use to help keep your paints from drying out too quickly on you.
And honestly, the paper plates, the only things I have to keep in mind are things that came up last week.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a lot of paint that I'm using because I'm working on a large creature, then I've got to be careful because it will eventually start to dry out. So I need to, just keep an eye on it, add some water to it
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, or I just add more paint. And or if we're doing color mixing, then I need to, and I say this like I'm doing it, but Via's doing it, plan out the painting session that I'm doing so that don't have to mix that color again. So so just making sure that, hey, I'm gonna mix up a color to use on this mini. How much longer am I gonna be painting for? Oh, I got another hour and a half or so that I'm gonna be painting. That's fine. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So like the paper plate on 95% of the time
Yeah.
is wonderful. It's great. And just being able to throw it out and not feel like I'm doing something incredibly bad is very, very good. And the few times that I have to be careful are easy enough to avoid.
Yeah. And quite honestly, it helps to keep in mind the environment in which you're painting. If you're painting in a very hot, dry environment, guess what? Your paints are going to dry out regardless.
Yeah.
So if that's something where you want to keep your paints from drying out as much, and you know your house is dry, believe it or not, a humidifier in your room will help. If you have like a special craft room where you can keep the air a little bit more temperate as opposed to dry. So yeah, just little factors that you wouldn't even think of do come into play regardless of what material you're using, but also the environment in which you're painting.
Yeah. I've actually got a dehumidifier going on right over here because
Yeah.
Seattle.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Because
my
Seattle.
dehumidifier is like around the corner and down the bend type of thing in my basement because I need that for my basement. Without
Yeah,
question.
a lot of basements require
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Let
I'm happy with
me.
how it looks on this wing.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so you can see the textures all being brought out and it's got this really neat look to it.
Yeah, I'm still
That
working on mine, but
complements what we have going on the belly.
yeah.
So we'll call that one done. One is done. Now for two.
Belswin also wants to know, can you show a close up of the eye? There's a lip around the eye. Should it be green or silver or black? Oh, because we did the eye a little while ago.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's the type of thing where if you mean the rim right here, that I've kept green right there. Okay. If you mean the slightly smaller one, if you black out the eye first, like we did, that will take care of that area for you. So it'll show up a little bit black once you get all the layers of paint on there. But if you want the rim of the eye, that's supposed to be green. All right. See where my thumbnail is hiding the eye?
Yeah.
That's all green.
And that was definitely a fun challenge to try to,
Mm-hmm.
because we had done so much work on that eye before we
Oh
then went
yeah.
around with the green. It's just like, okay, let's
Yep.
try to not mess this up. Um, the lurking writer wants to know, what's Helen's opinion of the Jabberwock's wings? Does she want them for herself? I mean, Helen kind of wants it all.
Mine are
Wants all the
prettier.
wings.
She has wings now. You've been asking, and she finally got her wings. She
Yay,
was
wings.
giddy. Wings.
Oh, interesting. Mikey also wants to know, do you prepare your hands for miniature painting sessions? If yes, what do you use? I
Oh.
mean, we've talked about stretching and taking
Mm-hmm.
breaks before, but do you have like a care regimen for your hands when you're doing a lot of mini painting?
Mm-hmm. I actually do. What I do for my hands is I will actually wash my hands with a soap that doesn't have moisturizer in it because you want it to basically strip the oils from your skin, but make sure that the water is nice and warm. And I'll actually like keep my hands on the water a little bit longer just to help loosen the muscles up and then just, blot my hands dry. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I always try to run my hands underneath some warm water before I start painting anything because just the heat helps loosen it up. If it's a cold day, I also have fingerless gloves that I'll wear, like cheap ones that I can toss if paint gets on them type of thing. Basically, like keeping your hands warm. Now, for me, especially because I have an autoimmune thing called Raynaud's, and it's basically where circulation gets affected, which is sometimes why you'll see my fingertips will turn pure white and like fingers turn purple. So in my book, keeping my hands warm is sort of my routine with mini painting. It helps make sure that I am more limber and I don't stiffen up.
I haven't thought about using my fingerless gloves. I've got a bunch of pairs of compression gloves
Mm-hmm.
that I'll wear occasionally, and for a variety of reasons. And I hadn't thought about wearing those during mini painting.
Oh yeah.
It just hadn't even come up, but they're also fairly cheap. I don't have like expensive ones. I have the
Mm-hmm.
simple packs of, you
Yeah.
just buy in a small, medium, or large. So I wouldn't mind if it got paint on them. So I should give that a try, especially if my hands get cold.
Yeah.
It's good to
Just
think
helps.
about.
Yeah, it helps. There are just
All
times I'll be
right.
paint like I get the ones from the dollar store that you can buy, and there are times I forget that I have the gloves on, and I like inadvertently will test palette on the back of my hand. I'm like, oh, that's knit. That's not skin. Yeah.
They become so comfortable. Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's just it. You forget they're there, and then you really forget they're there until you're reminded.
Yeah. Yeah. But, as we've talked about before, these paints are very easy to wash out, especially if you
Oh
get to
yeah.
them immediately. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine if they're a pair of the gloves that you really, 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 really
Yeah,
like,
you
just
can just
taking
take
the
some
5 seconds
rubbing alcohol.
to,
Yeah.
yeah,
Rubbing alcohol on it, on the fabric with some paper towel behind it. You totally can pull it out for the most part. Unless it's
absolutely.
like a really intense red. Those can be trickier, the red paints. But
And
I've
we
gotten
actually
spilled
have,
paint out of carpet.
oh, geez, yeah,
Yeah.
that's oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you start talking about carpet, ooh. And we do actually have a very timely, excellent question from gelatinous Rubik's Cube, who
Mm-hmm.
asks, "Can you explain what dry brushing is?" Because yeah, we haven't actually explained it for a little while, and we probably got
Yeah.
some new people who've come on in.
Dry brushing is where you load your brush a little bit and you dry it off on a paper towel so there's only a little bit of the paint left. And then what you do is you take the brush and you don't paint. I'm going to use my hand because I don't want to mess up and paint the wing. So when you do that and you go in to dry brush your surface, you float it above the surface so that oh, this is good. This is such a light gray and I'm so pale it's barely showing up on the camera. But basically you float it above the surface of whatever you're painting so that you can now look like I have a bruise. You get the tint of the paint on the higher surface of the miniature, on the higher details of the miniature. It's different than going into paint because when you go to paint and not dry off the majority of the paint on your brush, when you go to paint, what happens is you go through all of the details and obliterate the higher details and the recessed areas, and it just becomes a flat color. So dry brushing acts as sort of a quick way to help start adding highlights to your minis and bringing out the higher details on your miniature. But you got to make sure that the brush is mostly dry as opposed to wet, because that was a wet brush, fully loaded brush, and that is a dry brush, a brush that has been mostly dried off on your paper towel.
And when you hear me talking about being careful that I am still dry brushing and I haven't turned into painting, that's usually the moment in where we've been doing dry brushing and I want to continue to dry brush because I think I need more paint on there, but I really don't. And so for me, once you kind of get a little more used to dry brushing, the next step for me has always been stopping before I go too far and before I just start painting.
Yeah. So now, because we have two different wings, what I always do is I do a side by side to make sure. And that's a nice consistency. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, it's a good idea, actually.
They look similar to each other.
Hey.
Yeah. All right, cool.
I know my camera is not quite as perfect for this, but as far as like getting a color consistency, yay.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to rinse the brush off. And now, no, stay there. Oop. Drop my blotting paper towel.
It took a run for it. It decided to.
Yeah, it's like
it decided to try to escape.
It's like do to the ground. All right, now we're gonna go back to the body while these dry, and we're gonna start dry brushing the body, which has a whole bunch of details that are going to pop that much more, and it's going to look really cool. So what we'll do is we'll take more of the Stonewall Gray and a very slight touch of dark green, just to tint the gray. You don't want to turn this into a light green. You want to tint the gray so it looks greenish.
All right.
So I'm going to mix up a very good amount. So I'm going in with about a quarter size of Stonewall Gray now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like say we'll do a sunflower seed amount of the green. Literally a drop.
Oh.
Just a drop.
Just the tiniest.
Just a drop. Yeah. Let me grab a brush that I'm not dry brushing with to mix this up.
I mean, this is kind of the equivalent to the measure twice, cut once. Is you can always add more, but you can't take away. So if you put too much in,
it becomes problematic.
Yeah. And while I'm mixing that up, a question had a question about, are there details about your participation in the Extra Life weekend that you can share? I mean, probably I'm just, the only reason I am thinking
the official rundown yet
about it. Yeah.
I'm going to go with a little bit more of the green.
Okay.
Do another drop.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching your splashes here.
There we go.
Here's what I will say for myself. I am participating.
Right.
I'm not able to go out to the offices this year, but I am absolutely participating. I'm excited about my participation. And when I am not on camera, I will be around in the chat for as much as possible. I'm going to hold off on saying what just yet for reasons that will make sense when they are announced.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that kind of half announcement, like I know that's not deeply satisfying.
The easiest thing to do is like start tuning in at 9 a.m. next Friday and hang out with everyone is really what it boils down to. If you hang around with us all day, you'll get a chance to see everyone from CNE doing their thing, having fun, and raising money for a fantastic cause.
There we go. See, that works out a lot better. All right. I think I'm close to your
it's
gray green.
I just wiped it away. It's a gray green. It's a very subtle shift, but what I'm trying to do is, again, we had a subtle shift between the two greens here. So that's going to translate as well once we start getting it onto the body. So let me do a quick little swatch again.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm there. I wanted to make sure that I hadn't gone, that I had gone far enough. There we go. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is going to be for the whole rest of the body, like
the
top
rest
and
of the body,
everything.
Everything. So I'm going to jump in and I'm actually going to do the tentacles first.
Oh yeah, I'll join you in that.
Yeah. I think I will switch to a different dry brush. Where did I put you? A smaller dry brush just to work around the face. So if you have a smaller dry brush, I would definitely... Where did it go? Switch to that one. Did that walk away too?
Uh-oh.
I literally just used it. That's the funny thing.
Don't walk away.
It does not help that Rory has been stealing things on me lately. Oh, there it is. It got hidden underneath other brushes. Okay. That'll do it. So I'm going to switch over to my itty bitty brush in just a little bit, but my wee little brush, I will use that.
I am already using the smallest one I have, but
yeah,
I just got to be a little more careful around the eyes.
Yeah.
That's okay.
You can also take a detail brush, remember, and use the side of it.
That's true. That's
true. If you
true.
want to do that.
I may go back in with the detail brush because I'm trying to be really cautious around the eyes. And so I may look later and be like, I was so cautious that I need a little bit more, especially because I would like to get that ridge around the eye. And that I'll grab a detail brush for. But for the moment, I'm on a roll.
On this moment.
Yeah, I do know that going back to the Extra Life thing, so we've got the page listed on our blog our Extra Life page. And we'll be posting stuff there. So I know a lot of these streams are going to have incentives for donating, a variety of incentives.
Fun
And
stuff.
so you can check those out. And so more details to come. Our schedule is still getting finalized, which is why we have not actually posted the entire schedule.
Yeah, it's not to be coy at all. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
We really don't know.
So there's some final things coming into play, but it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It always is. And I am excited about the thing that I am participating in. So
Yeah, same.
If I'm sounding way too coy about it, it is simply because I don't want to give too much away.
Right. Like I said, 9:00
Yeah.
next Friday, Pacific, in the morning. Join us here and see the fun.
And related to that, so for a obvious reason now, we are going to be, I should say specifically, Paint and Slay is going to be on a tiny little break, just a 2-week break, because Paint and Slay won't be on, as all of our normal programming will be on hold next week, as we do Extra Life. And then the week after that is American Thanksgiving. Woo. And so with both V and I being American, we are going to be enjoying turkey, or, family, or just, whatever V would like to do for Thanksgiving. I don't do too much because I've got a Canadian husband, so we kind of split the Thanksgivings. But we will be on a break that week. And then, interestingly enough, the week after that is PAX Unplugged. And normally, because both V and I are going to be there, we would also have to postpone that week. But V said, that's 3 weeks in a row. Let's do something else. And so she pre-recorded a 1-episode paint of A Nightmare. The flaming horse, the happy flaming horsey. So if you would like to join along with that paint, all of the information, let me grab my drink. All the information for The Nightmare is available in our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions.
I just liked saying I was doing a pre-recorded Nightmare when we were
telling
that
people
was fun.
That was super fun. It's like, what? You're doing a what?
Yeah, but one of the big reasons why I picked that mini is because it's a mini that starts off all clear. Like, literally the plastic is clear, and a lot of you have been asking about, well, how do we paint these bits of plastic? Watch that episode. You'll find out how.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So that will be happening in 3 weeks from now. And when you go to the Discord, go check out the Paint and Slay channel, and it has information on picking up that mini and the stuff that you will need, and join V as she does a solo Paint and Slay. I mean, I guess that's an accurate way of putting it, right? A solo Paint and Slay.
Oh, and thank you, Fooderin. I just looked over the chat right now. Appreciate that. Just was thanking me for jumping in for covering for B-Day this week. I was more than happy to help out a friend, that's for sure.
And you did an absolutely outstanding job, which is no surprise for those who have seen you DM before. We all knew, but that is we all knew you were going to be awesome, but we also all recognize that's a lot of pressures to come in and have to take over an episode of an ongoing series. Yeah. So yeah, that was awesome, and it was a cool episode. And if you missed it on Monday, it is up on our YouTube channel for you to enjoy, and I highly recommend it. For many, many reasons that I'm not going to spoil.
Thank you.
Which I almost did. I almost was just like, because of no.
No, I was just gonna say I was making a weird face because I thought for a second somehow my little electric kettle was starting up on its own. It's raining so hard it sounds like percolating water on my roof right now.
Oh wow.
Yes. So I wasn't making faces about anything else, but I was hearing a weird sound. No, honestly, it was one of those things where You just team up and you work together to help someone out when they need it and jump in and go. And the cast is fantastic. It was so much fun to run the game for them.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm happy it all came out okay. Let's just say that Sunday night and Monday, it was like cramming for those finals your last semester in college.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
But you know
hello.
what? If you didn't know, if you had no idea that that wasn't planned, it wouldn't have felt that way.
Yeah.
No one would have known. So it was super fun. Oh, because we've gotten past noon, there is a new vote
Mm.
going on for Idle Champions presents Hunger of the Far Realms. Can somebody,
What are
some
we voting?
very kind person in chat let us know what is the vote for today?
Yeah.
Because neither of us, for obvious reasons, have the game open at the moment, so we don't know
Little
what the
tricky.
vote is. I'll keep an eye on the chat right now so that we can see. Mysterious eggs
or
or
an
an
impossible
impossible
box?
box.
Yes, that one. Hello.
Oh, found in the temple. Okay. I'm like, I can't remember what the context of this one is. Okay.
Yeah, they're at the gates of the temple right now.
Yeah.
Fighting some critters.
Okay.
And 32 geckos are on their side. I'm sorry, I still love BD's reaction to that one. The what now?
I mean, you have a
fun.
druid in the party. The fact that it took this long for you to encounter a swarm of creatures is testament to the restraint that Walnut has been showing.
Yeah.
There was a moment where she was starting to describe those geckos, and Tristan, they like smiled and said, instead of doing the stuff at the 1/8, I'm going to, and I thought they were gonna say go for like one of the bigger creatures where you can do with that spell like 1 or 2 bigger creatures. So the fact that then they said 32 geckos, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. I'm here for it.
I mean, how could I say no to that request?
Uh-huh.
Plus the fact I knew I wouldn't be the one dealing with him for too long.
As someone who has recently played a Drake Warden Ranger, I was very cautious about making it clear to the DM as we were talking about it that like I've got the Drake. I've got the stats. I'm taking care of the Drake. You don't have to worry about it, because that's the hardest part sometimes about those spells is like, well, who controls this now?
Yeah. I beg your pardon, sir. I need that hand. No, I need that hand. That hand is holding the Jabberwock. It's not giving you scratches.
Hi, kitty.
We got a Hemingway plunked on my lap right now.
It's kitty time.
Yep.
We've reached kitty time. It's just become a thing now on Peyton Slay. We've reached kitty time.
They want to come up and say hello. Right, buddy?
Wants to join in the dry brushing for this creature. All right, so see, now I'm thinking, what do I want to actually vote for? Mystery egg or impossible box?
Oh God, go for the eggs.
You think?
Because who knows what comes out of the eggs? I think I've watched too many sci-fi shows where someone finds an egg of some mysterious background and something interesting always tends to come out of those. That's my thought process.
I mean, it's a good thought process. I'm here with you on it, but hear me out here. In general, what comes out of eggs is creatures.
Yeah.
What can come out of the box? Anything. Anything can come out of the box.
True.
So I'm kind of leaning towards the box.
What's
also,
the box?
I am, well, there's that too. I am also semi-intrigued by the idea of something being impossible, because D&D players, as soon as you put impossible in front of them,
they make it possible.
Not only do they make it possible, they make it their life's mission.
Yeah.
This is the goal. This is what we're doing now. This is why we are here. I don't care what else is on our plate. We must now make the impossible possible. And I say that as both a DM who's had to deal with that and as a player who has done that. So I am both guilty in both respects.
Same.
I can, off the top of my head, think of several times as both a player and a DM I've had to deal with that. So Yeah, you give a D&D player a challenge.
Give
So
a mouse a cookie.
exactly. So I might have to go with Impossible Box. Because you know what could be in the Impossible Box? An egg.
An egg.
This can be the Matryoshka dolls of
Right?
D&D. There's an egg inside the Impossible Box. What's inside the egg? A box.
Box. Oh my god. What's in that box? Ooh, who
Mm,
knows?
an even smaller egg.
Mm-hmm. Just back and forth, that sucker.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But every time you want to open up the Impossible Box or an egg, you have to sacrifice one of your geckos.
Oh, good lord.
You got 32 of them? All right, here we go.
Uh-huh.
This is why I'm not the DM for Idle Champions Presents. Oh, you've brought me 32 geckos? Okay, then. Let's have some fun.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see what B-Dave does with 32
Oh,
geckos.
that's quite frankly why I said yes. I'm like, cute little geckos. Yeah, I'm leaving this present for him.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I want to see that happen. All
I'm
right,
trying to
slowly
get,
but surely getting there. There's a lot of
yeah.
nooks and crannies and angles for this part.
Yeah, and the feet are surprisingly tough to get at.
Texture too, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine.
Didn't mean to whack a camera.
No, we don't chase after the brush. No.
Nope, brush is not for you.
No, we do not.
Um, yes, we will both be at PAX on a couple of different panels, and you can come see us. I think our both of us have social media posts up about the panels in
Yeah, I
specific, but
gotta.
I'll definitely be posting when we
I
get a
gotta do it this
little bit
weekend.
closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably for me like next week.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna say something. Oh, we will have gifts to give to anyone who is interested in fun-free stuff.
Yep.
We will have fun-free things to give away. So hey, if you're at PAX, come say
Yep,
hi.
we will.
Come say
We will
hi.
have goodies for you, children.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Chat is now running with my what's inside the box an egg, what's inside the egg another box, what's inside all of that.
Well, you just chicken and egged it.
Yeah. And then Badion, sacrifice your last gecko, and the box opens to reveal the mother gecko wondering where her kids are. And I'm like,
Oh
oh,
boy. Oh boy.
oh.
That is not a position you want to be in.
The lurking
Miniature
writer
giant
says,
gecko.
yeah, all right. Lurking writer says, inside of the impossible box, a six-sided box, is a clutch of mysterious eggs, each of which has either 4, 6, 8, 12, or 20 sides.
Right?
I'm here for that.
Oh, look at
There's
these.
a there's a low-level magic item that I've given my players, and I actually can't remember where it's from
Mm-hmm.
specifically, but it is a rather large 20-sided die.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's described as like a softball-ish size, so a decent size.
Yeah.
And it does nothing in particular except when you roll it, it changes color.
Oh, fun.
And it does it randomly.
Oh,
And
that's even
so
more
it's
fun.
yeah, and so it's one of those and where the first time it happens it's like, well, what does it mean? What does it mean? And well, it just means it's a pretty color. I can't remember where I picked that one up. I don't know if that's an official D&D one or if that's something I got out of one of the many, many, many books that I've picked up over the years of fun stuff.
That's just it. People have created so many cool things,
Right?
and they're just fun to incorporate. And clever, clever ideas to see people come up with. All right. I
Yeah,
think I'm
as
getting.
soon as
Oh,
soon
go ahead.
as I get a new book or supplement or something, it's basically just idea central for how to
Mm-hmm.
use these in a game. It's so
Oh,
much
yeah.
fun.
All right. Switching to my smaller brush to get around the face.
There we go. the most recent one that I got is up there. You probably can't see it, but it's Incantations from
Oh,
Metal
yeah,
Weave
yeah,
Games,
yeah.
which is all of
Yeah.
those spells.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've been reading through that, and every once in a while I'm just like, welp,
That one looks
how do I
gorgeous.
incorporate all of these into my games? How do I make all of them happy? Oh, chat's happy to see the kitty.
Yeah, he's here for the journey, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
said,
Lurking
nope,
Rider.
sit down, and Hemingway said, well, I'll sit down, just not where you're thinking.
Yeah. Yes. If they're gonna sit there and
Yeah,
be a hand rest, then go for it, right? Like
right?
how often are cats willing and able to be uh helpful in that way?
I mean, this guy sleeps on top of my head every night like a hat.
Aw.
He's my chat chapeau.
All inside of elbows.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to dry brush you. It will happen.
Okay, I'm thinking.
Um,
What do we think, Hem? Do we
yeah.
like it? No. Oh no, sir. What are you doing?
This is we're
This was
no
not part of the
longer
deal.
painting. This is just kitty hour, and I'm
No,
okay
no,
with
no, no,
this.
no. This was not part of the deal. Come here, you. Oh, the floofinator. Say hi to the people so they can actually see you. Say hello.
Everybody
Hi.
wave to the kitty.
All right,
It's
now
Friday. It's kitty time.
stay in my lap, sir. Okay. Thank you. That's a
All
good
right,
boy.
I think
Body
I
is
have
done.
reached. Think
Yes.
so. I'm sure
Yeah.
there will be a spot and where I'll go, well, but dry brushing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
You should
I've
be
reached the
good. Yeah.
peak. Hmm.
So now we're gonna switch over to getting the wings of the same color. But
Oh,
this
okay.
time it's the back of the wings and the edge of the wings that we're doing this in.
And by the back, you
That's
mean the
the
outside.
outside. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
the part that is not close to the body.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I have to clarify that every single time, like the back and the front of the wings, whether it's close or far away from the body.
That's fair though.
It's just how I mentally have to think about it.
That makes sense.
And we're doing the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. The
Okay,
whole
cool.
thing.
The whole shebang. Oh, that's a little too much. Nope, not that much. Not
A
that
little too much.
much.
Not that much. Just a little too
There we go.
much. Now the thing you want to start thinking about when we get to the washes, there's two options. You could do this as an Agrax Earthshade wash, or you could do it as a Bieltan green, whichever you have available. If you do the green, it's going to have more of a green tone. It's going to pick up those green layers that we have in here. If you do more of the Agrax, it'll just blend them down to be more muted in tone altogether.
I think I'm gonna go for the green then, because I kind of like the idea of it showing off all the
Mm-hmm.
green layers and not
Yeah.
being as muted, I should say. So
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the same and go Bieltan on this one. If you want to have it look more grayish and really dark, which I tend to not like to do with my minis, then I would do a Nuln oil or a black wash.
mm.
You can go that direction.
I think for the Jabberwock, having it be bright makes a lot of sense. I mean, I know
Mm-hmm.
the art down there for what's in the game is more gray. So if we wanted to stick with if we wanted to have a mini that looked a lot like what's in the game, I'd
Yeah,
probably go with
the Nuln
the
oil for sure.
yeah. But I think especially since we went for more of a green, I'm personally liking this brighter I mean the Jabberwock is already kind of a weird creature to begin
Oh, it's
with.
totally bizarre.
So
Yeah,
something about having it be bright and
fayish.
not sneaky.
Yeah.
Not sneaky. I don't know. I guess I associate those darker colors with attempting to be more sneaky, whereas the Jabberwock is more like, I'm here. I'm weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
Yep, exactly.
You sure you want to fight me? I'm gonna take a look at you and you're not gonna be happy.
Mm-hmm. Think I'm a snake in the grass. I'm a snake in the sky. happy with that for the most part.
Yep, I just moved to the other wing myself.
Yep.
How'd you get wet? How did you get
Uh-oh.
wet?
Oh dear.
It's the inside of this other wing just has like a
Oh.
wet spot on it. I think
Is
maybe I
it
grabbed
pain or is
some
it
water.
water? Okay, I was gonna say, is it
It
pain
looks
or
like it's
water?
water. I had to add some water to my
Okay.
the paint that we're currently
Mm-hmm.
using to dry brush with.
Right.
And so maybe I accidentally dropped a little bit
That's
on
fair.
there and I didn't notice.
That
I think I
makes
flipped
sense.
it over for a second because that would have been ugly.
Mm. Caught it just in time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Jordan says that they are also going to be at PAX Unplugged. So there's going to be quite a lot of people
Oh,
there.
there's gonna
So if
be. I mean, PAX Unplugged is like the family reunion of conventions in my book. It
yeah,
just has an awesome vibe in general.
yeah, for
So,
tabletop it's kind of the one
yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, if you're going to PAX Unplugged and you want to come over and say hi, please do. Just keep in mind, it's one of those things where, first of all, tell me who you are, because
Yes.
there's going to be a mask on your face, but also more often than not, people's handles and their profile pictures do not match the face that comes up and says hi, and they start talking to you, and you feel terrible because you want to say hi back to the person, but you don't know their name. So please make sure when you come to like, hi, I am so and so from such and such a place. Context is
Yes.
fantastic. We love getting context. And then just please, 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 and this is just in general, just con etiquette. Check with people first before you go in for hugs.
Mm,
Are you open for a hug? If the person says no, be cool with it. Don't take it personally. So many people are still trying to be safe and do some distancing in terms of like not hugging everybody. And also,
yep.
don't take it personally if you see them hug someone else down the line after you ask them for a hug. They may know that person a lot better and they might be very close friends and know what they're doing. So just be respectful of boundaries and check with people ahead of time. You know, can I get a hug? Can I get the elbow bump that people
Yeah.
are doing? Can I get an elbow
Or
bump? Can
some
I get a
people do
foot
the
tap? Yep.
fist.
Yep.
Yeah, the foot
Yep.
tap.
So just check with contact first before you go in. But definitely, like, please say who you are, because it's not that I don't remember you, it's that I truly cannot recognize you.
The mask has been
It's been, yeah. Yep.
I cannot recognize people with the mask on. And while I am super happy that it's a masked event and
Mm-hmm.
I would rather have it that way, yes, if you come
Same.
up to me and say, "Hi, hey, it's Lauren Urban. I go by Obo Lauren online." If you
Yeah.
do that, I'm
Thank
forever
you.
grateful. I'm
Thank
so
you. Thank you.
forever
Thank you.
grateful.
There was a clever individual, and I'm trying to remember who it was at last PAX. They actually had a pin with their profile picture from Twitter on them.
Ah.
And I recognized them through that. Now I don't remember who did it, but credit to whoever that person was. It was a fantastic idea.
Yeah, definitely as I might try to have some kind of hi, my name is
Mm-hmm.
on at all times because
Yeah.
I know your name will be on your badge or it has been in the past, but a lot of time it's either the badge is facing the wrong way or
Right.
it's not necessarily at close enough to face level. So
Mm-hmm.
it can be a little hard to be, looking for a name by the badge. So I
Yeah.
think I might just do the whole hi, my name is.
There you go. Of
Keep it simple.
course, the slightly spiteful me would put in, "Hi, my name is Inigo Montoya." I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Also, Garwar, I appreciated that. He said, um, when I finally meet Lauren, I'm not going to go, "Hi, I'm Lauren. I go by Obo Crazy online." I mean, you could. It would be confusing, and it
Mm-hmm.
might be funny.
I mean, there
So
are options. There are options.
I'm trying to get a better
Trust me, I
view
get it.
of how much I've done on this wing because I think I'm getting close to the point of I'm no
Are you
longer.
overpainting? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm getting there, but the
Oh,
back of
good.
the wing has a lot bigger curves
It
than the
does.
front.
Yep.
So it's a little harder to see the whole thing all at once.
Got one of your cat hairs on my face, Hemi. All right, so that takes care of the wings in terms of
Yay.
the fleshy areas. Now we can do the talons. So that's when we want to go back to Beastie Brown, I believe. Yep, Beastie Brown, and paint the talons.
Okay.
Oh,
There's BC Brown.
he some more factor right there.
I don't know how much mine came across, but yeah, because my Beastie Brown is.
So's mine.
It's like, starting to be out.
We're getting
to the
detailed
back.
brush for this part, obviously. No, we are not playing with. Dang it. I just pulled out a whole bunch of brushes and he's like, yes. It's like, no, you cannot pick those up.
It's time.
He could, because he's got that polydactyl paw. So he can actually grab things with his little kitty thumb.
I'm just waiting for the paw to just come into frame slightly and be like,
oh, he's done that. He's done that to me so many times. So I'm going for the wing that is now dry and just painting that talon.
And this is all 5 talons?
Mm-hmm.
I had to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5.
And it is a lovely round object, so it does help to kind of rotate the wing as you paint.
Mm-hmm.
And pull the brush across it. Wow, that rain is coming down.
Well, I can't hear it, so
say, I don't know if
either
it's getting picked up, but it's pretty darn intense.
I mean, that sounds relaxing at least, but I am not hearing it over the microphone.
I'm just glad I didn't put a package that I have scheduled for pickup tomorrow outside already. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
it would be getting soaked right now.
Oh, and since it is almost that time, I will go into the spiel because we're almost into our 2nd hour, and so we're going to have new people coming in from the game. Hi, welcome. We are finishing up the Jabberwock for this is episode 3 of the Jabberwock. We're finishing that up. We've also been talking about all the fun stuff going on in the game. If you do have any questions about any of that, go ahead and put question. Sorry, I'm slowing down how I'm talking because something got a little more difficult. Yeah, concentration. Go ahead and put question in big capital letters in the chat and then say your question, because we have the awesome Jordan in our chat who's going to be grabbing those. And so I don't miss those questions when I am hardcore looking at a claw and hardcore concentrating on a claw and hardcore trying to get all of the parts of a claw, including the tip of a claw.
Mm-hmm.
Claws that catch, yes.
Hi, Papa.
Yeah, I figured going for the poem for inspiration for the code would be fun. Trying to find something that would fit.
No, it was
a little bit of a challenge. Tiny challenge. Which is why the code is the longer 16 instead of the more frequently used 12, because I couldn't find something that just fit in 12 that I liked.
That works. Fun fact, I read the Jabberwock poem as like my, what was it, 8th grade forensics piece. Not like forensics, like you have to figure out a mystery gone wrong. It was a public speaking competition type thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, because I was like, for forensic science?
I don't know why they called it that, but yeah. It's actually why I'm like, forensics? Yeah, what's forensics? So yeah, I read that piece. I don't remember it now, but boy, how did I have fun reading it.
Whereas I'm one of those weird people who just, I managed, not on purpose, but I managed to never have read that poem until very, very late in life. Just completely was off my radar. I knew what a Jabberwock was, and I knew the poem existed, but just had never read it, never encountered it, never had a class or a reason to. So
that happens.
Yeah.
That absolutely
those weird things that sometimes you miss out on just because of where you grew up or what you were doing with your life. So yeah, I was enjoying reading through it while I was looking for chest codes. But I was just like, what will work? What will work here? Oh, jeez. Why? Why, Claw? Why?
Tell me why. Do, 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 do.
It's just getting the very tip is surprisingly difficult for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I get all of the claw and then I look straight on at the very, very tip, and it's like there's just this white dot there that's left behind.
Yeah, that's why if you pull the brush across it as opposed to up it, it actually will help you coat that a little bit better.
Yeah. Yep, I should be doing that. More, I should say. Oh, yep. Got new people coming in from chat.
Hello, you
Hello.
people. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Don't pay attention. That's Friday. I am punchy. It has been a long week.
Hey, listen, I'm here for it.
And yes, I was absolutely picturing the frog in my head with the top hat and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's where my brain just went. It's all the
I
green in
think
front of me.
I think we are definitely at an age in where I think most people now associate that song with that frog.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. Sorry, I'm having a very hard time talking while I am doing these claws. They're not even like eye level of small. They're just taking a lot of concentration for some reason.
Yeah.
Here, chat, talk amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Talk. I'll give you a topic.
Why?
Give you a topic.
Oh, if we want to have fun with Alice in Wonderland.
Oh.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
There you go.
Yep.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Why is a raven like a writing desk? I know. It's a weird question, but here we are. Probably just going to get a whole bunch of people who know Alice in Wonderland way better than I do and are going to start quoting it. And I'm okay with this.
Yep. I mean, I've already gone to Cabbages and Kings thing that the walrus likes to rattle off. Time has come, my little friends, to talk of many things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax and cabbages and kings, and why the sea is boiling hot and whether fish have wings. Tolu today, come out today with cabbages and kings. Come out to play with cabbages and kings. And they're talking to the little clams.
Clams.
Hello, Hemi. Yes, sir, I know you're there, sir.
Kenopi says, because like students, ravens can imitate what they hear but have no original sounds of their own. Ooh. Well, there you go. I think we've just described Kenku. Maybe that is the original idea behind Kenku. Someone was just super into Alice in Wonderland and went, this could be interesting. The other thing that's annoying me about these claws is that as I am painting them, I'm noticing bits where I didn't quite get the green high enough.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, well, I was being so cautious and I was too cautious.
Whoopsies.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Hello, sweet boy. Come here. Come here. Cuddle break.
Hi, kitty.
Show off your massiveness. What do you think? Yeah? All right. Down you go.
Also, I will say, although obviously I won't say the name, but someone was asking the other week about the candy corn ropers that had been auctioned off for the WBAW charity. So we got the winners. So V and I are going to be mailing those out as soon as available time permits.
Yes, I was going to say as soon as I have time.
I'm going to try to do it this weekend because I got to go get something printed. I got to go get a gift printed for somebody. And that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil the gift. And the print shop is right next to the UPS. So I'm going to try to do it all at once. And I think.
Yeah, looking good. I
think my manicure is done.
All right.
I'm only half covered in brown.
Right.
Oh.
So now we'll move on to getting the base painted up. So you're going to take Beastie Brown and then do a dollop of, why am I my green blowing bubbles? A dollop of dark green and a dollop of black. I'm just going to create this lovely greenish muddy tone.
Dark green. And a dollop of black on it.
Yep. Where's my mixing brush? There's my mixing brush.
Oh, that's very nice, Lurking Rider. They said I got an email with regards to that. Does anyone want a D&D Beyond code for Tasha's Cauldron of Everything? I already have it, so I have a spare code. Oh, that's very
fantastic.
Nice. Okay. I know it may be like, well, but you used to work for them, but I am a fan of using D&D Beyond for pretty much any D&D game that I can. So, so having access to all of those books on D&D Beyond is so useful.
Yeah. All right, I am putting away my dry brushing paper towel for now. And then I'm going back in with a detail brush, and I'm going to start painting between the tootsies. Because this is not going to be fun.
Idea.
Yeah. I'm going to start painting with a darker brown that we just created. And actually, pardon me, I'm going to switch to a different detail brush because I just noticed that one is starting to do the split hair routine.
How dare. How dare it split hair.
Dare it be there. I'm going to go in and tickle between the tootsie toes as carefully as possible.
And while we are tickling the tootsies, if anyone does have any questions, go ahead and put those in chat, because we've still got a little bit of time. We're doing pretty good here on time. So if you have any questions about Idle Champions, or if you have questions about mini painting, or about Thanksgiving, you know, I should ask you, V, do you have any specific Thanksgiving plans, or just enjoying time with family and friends and turkey?
I'm going to make, per request of my little ones, which I was quite happy that they ventured out into this. They've asked me to make twice baked potatoes instead of mashed potatoes this year.
Ooh,
so we're going to change it up and do a new dish. And then we're going to, after Thanksgiving dinner and getting it all cleaned up in our pumpkin pie, we're actually going to decorate the Christmas tree together.
Aww.
Yeah. So that
sounds lovely.
Fun. Yeah, we'll basically spend Thanksgiving weekend getting the house all holidayified. Holidayified. Well, because it's, yes, we do Christmas, but I also, I appreciate solstice. Like, I'll burn my candle in solstice time and everything like that. So, just getting little nods to the various things out.
Yeah.
And I'm actually most excited to find my little black Christmas tree that I like. That'll be set up in here somewhere. I gotta find a place for it in my office.
Hanukkah this year is right around when Christmas is. So unlike last year, where I was actively burning candles during shows, not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
This year we will be on our break when I'm going to be lighting all the candles. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, I forgot how long its tootsies are.
Which reminds me, I need to go get candles.
Oh,
chat.
Good point.
Hey, chat. Someone remind me in about 45 minutes, go get Hanukkah candles or order them or something, because that's one of those things that is sometimes harder to get than you expect. Fortunately, around here, it hasn't been too hard. In fact, I've been able to go to our local Target a bunch of times and been able to pick up not just Hanukkah candles, but like other things. Like I have a Happy Hanukkah mug from Target. So
nice.
I've been quite impressed, but I've also been around the block long enough to know not to count on that. And sometimes finding Hanukkah candles in time can be a challenge.
Well, let me know if you do end up having issues, because of the area in which I live. It's very easy to find candles around here. What do you need?
Because I'll be on the East Coast in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. Check out the Reading Market. We might have like a vendor.
Uh, they might. They might. I mean, that makes sense. Or maybe there's some geeky candle maker
Mm-hmm.
out there who's making Hanukkah
True,
candles
true,
and
true,
will be
true.
selling. Hey, if anyone knows of any geeky candle makers who are going to be making Hanukkah candles,
Oh my God,
and
yeah.
will be at PAX Unplugged, please connect me with them. I would love to patronize their establishment.
Oh, that'd be fun. That would be a clever
I
idea.
right? I don't
Yeah.
exactly know what a geeky Hanukkah candle actually is, but you know what? I'm willing to entertain lots of lots of options because Hanukkah is not like it gets a lot of attention because it's
Mm-hmm.
around the holiday season, but it's not one of our big holidays. So
Yeah.
you can kind of just have fun with it and not have to worry too much. So yeah, ooh, that could be.
There you
I mean,
go.
definitely Reading Terminal, I think, is going to have stuff. And I will
Mm-hmm.
be going there at least once because I need bagel.
Oh
I need a
God.
bagel. I need a real bagel.
English Mia.
Oh, bagel walks and cream cheese has to happen. I had I usually have way too many bagels when I go to PAX Unplugged because it's like, okay, this is the one time of the year
Well, I mean,
I'm
it makes
gonna be on
sense.
the East
Stock up on your
Coast.
bagel fix.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, okay, I know one bagel is like most of my calories for the day, but I don't care.
Considering all the walking and running around you do, I think you're fine. With PAX Unplugged.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully. Oh, there's a bit right there. Okay, I am I think I've got around all the
Oh, you're
toesies.
fast. I'm still working on them.
Oh, that for some reason didn't. Yeah,
Might be because I have such
you
a
know
narrow
what?
little brush right now.
The this entire Jabberwock, I have been behind you. This is the one time I get to be ahead. I don't know
I
why.
don't know either.
Oh, I should also check out. Uh, oh yeah, Miss This Jordan says, "Yep, I'm making a name tag with my profile on it." Yes. I don't know
See?
if I'm going to be able to get with my profile on it, but I am definitely going to have a name tag at PAX. Although if I can get my profile picture on it, that would actually be nice because I'm not one of those people that changes my profile picture hardly at all.
Hmm.
So I think there's probably plenty of people who will recognize the picture over my name,
Yeah.
which is a weird thing to say, but is also true.
No, it's very true. Honestly, I'm so much more visual. I clue in faster to people's profile pictures. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
don't you know so and so? I'm like, let me go look on Twitter really quick. And as soon as I see the picture, like, oh yeah, I know that one.
Yeah.
Because like the profile names don't stick in my head as well, but the image of the person's profile picture will.
Yeah.
I've
I'm
always been that
old
way.
school internet enough that I don't ever want to change. I love that people get creative and they change their name or they
Mm-hmm.
change their profile picture and have fun with it depending on what's going on. But I'm I am old enough. Maybe this is my one get off my lawn moment. I don't know. But I just don't want to change it because I'm like, well, that's how people identify me. And I
Right.
want people to be able to find me.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I mulled on it for a good few months before I changed over from because everything used to be the crafting muse of my YouTube channel, and then I
yeah.
finally changed it to VMuse instead. And I am glad I have done that because as I was suspicious, my career path went in a different direction as opposed to just YouTuber.
Yeah.
So people recognize me more by my name now than by my channel, which had been the reverse when I first got started. But yeah, I was so hesitant. I'm like, but what if it affects things? Da 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 da. And then in the
Yeah.
long run, it was the best decision to make because now people are like, oh, that's V Muse as opposed to who's the crafting muse.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Yep. The
that
internet
was
is definitely
agonizing.
yeah, the internet has definitely moved in the direction of just, you know what? The government and corporations are going to be following you by your real name anyway. You might as well just use your real name and just be careful with where you sign up for
Mm-hmm.
and try to protect yourselves. But you know what? Just use your real name and let people be able to find you.
Yeah.
God, this base has a lot going on, especially on the
So much
sides.
texture. Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize there was like a shelf on this base until just now.
Yep. Now I'm like, we're gonna use the base and we're gonna be painting the base today because the base has a lot going
Mm-hmm.
on.
It's all about that base. No
It really
trouble.
is. Oh, how am I gonna? I don't like this.
What was that?
Trying to figure out the best angle of approach here, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, options are hard.
Yeah,
Getting in between those toesies,
angles
definitely
are
hard.
tricky. All right, I think that's about as good as that's gonna get. As in my mind,
Also,
I'm
even though
chanting
I
3 foot, 3
technically,
foot.
yeah, even though I technically was faster at getting around those claws, I'm pretty sure as I'm going around, I'm going to find places I missed. So there's always a trade-off.
True.
But I'm trying right now. I'm just trying to get all the way around the shelf.
Yeah. You know what?
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I have the other base somewhere.
The
Just
disc,
realized I don't. Yeah, I
it's
just realized
clear,
I'm.
so it could probably be fading into something easily.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big enough base that it probably doesn't need it, especially for someone like me that is
You're gonna
doing
want
this more for
this.
funsies.
Funnel
Oh,
mental that
really?
we're gonna want this. Um,
Oh.
so the I'm sorry. I just looked at the chat. I will get back to it. Ruin Rander, congratulations. I'm glad that you got the notification. They won our Solar Dragon for ICP.
Oh, hey.
Just got that package set up and ready to go out tomorrow. But anyways, the reason why you're gonna want this base is because that circular, wider footprint is gonna help balance this because when the wings go on, it's not as stable as it is right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So heads up, it's gonna do this fun little weeble wobble effect until you get the base on. So if you can't find it today, keep an eye out for it.
I will.
Yeah.
I have a pretty good idea where it's probably hiding because I've been putting all of those bases in a specific spot in a
Yeah.
baggie.
Oh, there you
So
go.
I'm pretty sure I know where it is, but that is good to know because otherwise because I've just been having these out for
Yeah.
display
Trust me, I
and
get it.
yeah. And the first time I would put it out for display and be like, Weebles wobble, but
It won't stay up.
you know what? In a weird way, that seems very appropriate for the Jabberwock.
I'm really
God,
happy
getting
with
in
the color
between
of the
these legs is
brown.
surprisingly difficult.
It is, because there's just so much texture happening right now. This is also why I waited on putting the wings on, because they would
Yeah.
become two more things to work around.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yep, and just as I suspected, there's a spot by the foot that I missed, but that's
Oh
okay.
dear.
That's okay.
Yeah, you'll get there.
I've got brown for days.
I got the world on a string, ring around my finger.
And brown for days.
And brown going for days.
Okay. And with that, I'm gonna actually take a second to stretch.
Definitely do.
Yeah, have fun with that solar dragon when you get it. If you have a
Gorgeous.
social media that you are a fan of, definitely take pictures and post and let us know whether you're just having it on display or use it in a game. We'd love to see that it arrived safely
It's
and you get to enjoy
beautiful.
it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh, and FYI, it's coming in a Chewy box. Not the box is Chewy, like Chewy the brand box.
Wait, okay, wait. Well,
because the way WizKids
what's
sent me the items, they had the Solar Dragon lumped together with the bricks for the other prizes, so it came in this other bigger box. So I had to find a smaller box to ship the Solar Dragon, and I had a Chewy box that was like the perfect size for shipping it. So yeah, it's coming in a Chewy box. That is not a mistake. That is your mini.
That's kind of awesome.
And if you have pets, I'm sorry for disappointing them.
I was just about to ask, is this like a pet thing or is this
yeah,
I think
Chewy
there's
is
also
a pet provider, pet supply provider.
Ah, okay. Because I
Yeah.
think there's also, like you said, Chewy, and once I got around the no, wait, the box is not Chewy.
Right.
Uh, the next thing I went to is there's some gummy bear varieties, gummy thing varieties. They're not
Mm-hmm.
all bears that are around here that I think the brand name is Chewy.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things. I was like, well, this I can use.
Hey, whatever works, right?
Yeah. It just had canned cat food in it beforehand. Now it's found a second life and a second use. Reduce, reuse, recycle, folks.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know what box I'm gonna. I haven't figured out a box situation for
The roper.
the roper just yet. I've got access to pretty much everything else because of my lovely husband and his knowledge about mailing,
Mm-hmm.
but I still got to figure out a box.
Honestly, like
So,
Staples or Office Depot, they have little cardboard boxes you can buy that are
yeah, I
smaller. They're
may
like a perfect
just
square. I want to say it's like a 6 by 6 by 6 or something like that, or an 8 by 8 by 8.
yeah.
One of those will
That's
do you.
I'm probably just gonna have to buy a box just to
Yeah.
be cautious because I'd rather
Yeah.
have a box that is the right size and not
Mm-hmm.
be
Oh
not be
yeah.
having problems.
Yeah. All right. So we want the base to dry just a wee little bit.
Just a touch.
Just a touch. So while that dries, we're going to
Oh.
go to bone white and we're actually going to dry brush the talons on the wings.
Hmm. All
Actually,
right.
my brushes.
Nope, that's dead white. There's my bone
We
white.
want bone white. The bone white. Down to the bones.
Just need a little for the talons. Where'd my dry brush go? There's my dry brush. Where is it?
It walked away like mine did earlier.
Yeah. Well, and I don't have cats to blame. So if something walks away, it's like, well, this is my fault. I don't know what happened, but it is my fault.
Hi, Emmy. You come back? Hello, sir. I don't know if you can hear him meowing. It's also getting to see this is where time change has been fun because the cats still are not quite on the fall back concept. So we're cresting into when I normally would give them a quick little thing of cat food. So they're all kind of standing by my office door looking at me like, Mother, it is the feeding time. Mother, why do you delay our hunger so?
Mother, why do you starve us so?
Yes.
Why must we wait?
They look like they're wasting away.
Hour.
Right? I feed these cats like they're freaking hobbits, all right? They get their
I don't
first
understand.
breakfast. They get their
Why
second
must you
breakfast.
be so cruel?
How dare. How dare, Mother. All right, so I'm going to go in the bone.
Well,
I'm just going to.
So this is tiny spoiler for Hunger of the Far Realm from a moment that happened this most recent game. And I won't say what it's in relation to, but Walnut was answering someone's question and talked about how I only remember as far back as my most recent meal. And I thought that was actually a pretty brilliant answer for because Walnut is not just a druid, but a druid who leans into the wild shaping.
Yeah.
So having that kind of I only remember as far back as my last meal. I thought that was a really interesting way of putting that.
It really was great. That was fun. I'm not spoiling things, but as a DM, I thoroughly enjoyed that zone of what we were working on there.
Yeah, definitely go and watch. And that's all I will say because I don't want to spoil anything, but it was an awesome moment. And I might have to remember that I only remember as far back as my last meal because that's a good line for a bunch of different kinds of creatures or druids.
Hi, Ladybug. Swear to God, look.
What?
I'm not kidding. Hi, sweetheart. Speaking of druid, hi, honey. Come up, say hello. No, it's okay. It's a safe hand. It's not a squishy hand. It's not a hand that's
good thing you noticed that before you decided to start putting the wing and the body together.
Say hello to the people. Say hello.
Yeah, I mean, you're the druid today. You got cats, you got ladybugs.
This is just life in general. The way of the animals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that tickles. Can you not?
Do you need to take a moment and get this thing outside?
I'm fine. I'm fine. It just really tickled. Where'd you fly off to? Oh, now it's flying. It's on the
Oh.
microphone. If you hear any talking, it's not me. It's a ladybug.
What does the ladybug say? I only remember as far back as my last meal.
The last meal I
Wait,
wasn't part
what?
of. I remember as far back as the last meal I wasn't.
Mm.
That's
I
so
mean, you never know what's
random.
going on with ladybugs. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's a good thing that you noticed it before
Mm-hmm.
assembly was happening because that'd be bad.
Mm-hmm. That would
That'd
have
be
been
bad.
not fun.
Mm.
If you had told me I'd make a ladybug friend this afternoon, I'd be like, I'm doing a what now?
T5 Cats in chat. Hello, do you have any aphids handy?
I
Hi,
mean,
you were just talking about food, and I would like to participate in this food, please.
there you go. Yeah, she's just chilling on my microphone right now. Oh, but let's not get yourself caught in the cat hair. All right. That takes care of the talons on the
Yep.
wings. Now I'm going to carefully start working on the claws with the same bone white.
Okay.
Just to give them a little visual depth. I'm going to very carefully go across just the tops of the claws on the ground.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. Oh, hello. Hello, Miss Thing. Rory's here. All right. Clearly, I pulled out the Snow White card today and I didn't realize it.
Yeah, all you need is an actual bird to show up.
Mm-hmm. That was this
Sit on your
morning.
shoulder and start to sing.
God. No, that was this morning. It was the peregrine falcon that's in the neighborhood. It was calling out like crazy. I actually looked out. I was concerned. I'm like, did something happen? Did something happen there? All right. So, claws are done. We had the mani-pedi wingy. What would we call the talons? Mani-pedi, mani,
talons.
massive mani? I'm just thinking like
Massive mani. Extra mani.
extra mani. Oh, I'm really liking that. That looks so sinisterly beautiful. Yes.
I'm still working on these last couple of claws on the back foot.
Okay. Now, next step, provided that it is nice and dry, will be dry brushing the base with leather brown. I'm gonna go with some leather brown here.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if this is dry yet.
Yeah, check and see if it's dry or not.
Let's see. The outer edge of mine is, which is where I'd started.
That makes sense.
So I'll just have to stick with that leather brown, you said?
Leather brown, yep. I'm actually ready to go because I have the heat going right now, and boy, is it helping. Remember how I said your environment will factor into how fast paint will dry out?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have heat going, so things are definitely drier upstairs.
Also, I appreciate Jason Nolte saying Ladybug thoroughly opposes the arrival of actual bird. Please and thank you. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, little bug. Little bug.
All right, so I guess if I start with the outside, that should be safer.
Yeah. Don't even try to get in between the toes. That's not even worth it. Just in case you're tempted. Just saying.
I mean, but everywhere must be dry brushed, V. I must dry brush everywhere.
It's not like, you clean between your toes when you take a shower type of situation. It's not that kind of a wash or dry brush. Hey, and this 1 second, please.
Okay, yeah, sure.
The dragon. We don't eat the. They're getting feisty.
No eating the dragons. Hey, everybody, remember. Please remember. Don't eat the dragon.
He's gnawing on the wing of the green dragon. It's like, excuse me, sir.
I know that may seem like a bit of advice that should be obvious,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes it's good to say the thing. Don't eat the dragon.
Don't eat the dragon. I don't recommend eating the dragon.
Well, I mean, what color dragon is it? Because,
The green one.
you know,
I know, the green.
oh yeah, that's gonna have a burn. That's gonna have that
Yeah.
acidic burn.
Yeah, I would recommend that one.
Not the fun kind of hot sauce burn, but
No, we're not
that's just
talking
not gonna be
capsaicin. Uh-uh.
no. The capsaicin is only worth it if it comes with a actual flavor. Like, I am not a fan of, hey, eat this thing that is
Just because
so
it hurts.
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get that people love those kind of challenges, but for me, like, there needs to be a reason. This hot sauce better be delicious
Right?
because I don't want the heat, but I put up with the heat because it's delicious.
Yes, I'm of the same book. Like, please make it taste good.
And I have had quite a few hot sauces that I can only have a little bit of because they are definitely my limit. They're
Mm-hmm.
super duper hot, but the flavor is outstanding.
Yeah.
I was able to try quite a few of them. This was like a year ago at this point, maybe even more. I took a visit to Atlanta and saw my friends over at D4. And as you can imagine, the people in Atlanta, they know their hot sauces.
They do.
They
Yes.
they
They
have a
really
lot
do.
of experience. And so I got to try, oh, there was this bourbon hot sauce, which was
Ooh,
super good.
that sounds lovely.
That was not one of the more hot ones. Um, and I feel like that show Hot Ones, that's why I kind of like that show because yes, they get ridiculously hot, but all of them tout that okay, they're super
Flavor.
hot, but that
Yeah.
they also have a flavor that's worth
Yeah,
it. So,
exactly. Okay. I'm thinking we're shaping up to being pretty.
the
What? What?
gelatinous Rubik's Cube. I make Carolina Reaper jerky every year. People try it and can't put it down. Oh, that
That
sounds
sounds
amazing.
dangerously good. Oh, that
Yes.
sounds dangerously
Holy
good.
cow. That sounds amazing. Sorry, I didn't mean you were about to say something and then I got very distracted by being hungry in chat.
I am now distracted by I want that jerky.
Yes.
I
Holy mackerel.
love jerky. That's a problem. Well, it's not a problem. No, it's just I am a fan of the jerky.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So at
What's
this
next?
point, I think we're good to try getting the wings set in.
All right.
Now,
I need to grab...
remember with WizKids, they usually have like a key and lock option here. So you'll notice the shapes are slightly different on each side, and the shapes are also slightly different on the posts. So you see how this one has a notch taken out of it right there?
Yeah.
Sorry, Hemingway is knocking things. They're getting really bratty right now. They're knocking things off my other table in the other room. So you'll see there is a notch taken out of the opening down here. So that's how you know which wing goes where. So this one goes on this side, and do a test fit first before you try and super glue when it comes to these. There we go. Yeah, so that fits in nicely. Da 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 da. Next side.
Nope, I don't think that's it.
Yay. Okay, so there we go.
There we go.
And for now, this is sitting nicely, but you'll notice it's, there we go. It's rather precarious. If you knock it just slightly on one side, it'll start tipping around.
Yeah.
Which is why you want to be sure you have your, there it goes. You have your other base on. Okay, so now we do the super gluing. Now we do the super glue time. Yep. What I'm going to recommend you do is put super glue into, angles are fun, into the well area. Not fill it up, but get some super glue in there. Towards the very base.
Oh, my super glue is crunchy. Ew. There we go.
Yeah, I'm going to do a drop in each. And then just kind of move it side to side a little bit to get that super glue to move. Which is really hard to show on the camera, but it's coating. Even like
Let me
tap.
grab my other super glue because I think
Oh no!
that one might be buggered. But when I bought them, I bought in a set of 2. So
there you go. There you go. Then what I'm going to do is take some super glue and apply it to the sides. And remember, if you give super glue a little bit of time to breathe, it actually activates it a lot better. So you don't need to put on a whole bunch of super glue, just sort of move around what you've already applied. Like I haven't squeezed the bottle and put on more. This is just moving it around. I like to use the tip of my nozzle for that. And then just let that sit carefully, like so. Get the other one going.
I always kind of have the Jeopardy theme in my head whenever dealing with super glue. I know that's not.
So. That's fair.
That is not necessarily completely accurate, but.
Okay. I'm gonna cap my super glue now. Put that out of the way. Whoa, hold on one second. I have a cat caught on a curtain. You. Oh my goodness. Everyone's getting a taste of what my cats are like when they start getting hungry. Okay, now I'm gonna put this in because this has had a little bit of time to breathe. So in goes wing 1.
Inserting wing 1.
Yep. And then I'm gonna insert wing 2.
Inserting wing 2.
And luckily, because these are such deep sockets, the wing should not be flopping out. If you go to push this in and does not slide in nicely, or if it's flopping out on you before you can even get really fully inserted, you have the wing in the wrong socket. So just keep that in mind. It's actually a pretty darn good fit. See? And now we're just going to let this sit for a hot minute.
The hottest of minutes.
Hot minute. Woo! Spicy minute.
So spicy.
I'm still here. Smart.
I'm enjoying the fact because the last time we did super gluing, it had to do with the beholder, which was that was much more difficult. This was a much simpler super glue. Yeah.
So this Jabberwock comes with the clear bases that WizKids is starting to incorporate into their pre-painted miniatures, or their pre-primed miniatures, I should say. Lots of fun there.
Pardon me as I dig through my stuff. See, I've been putting all the bases in here in this bag.
It's all about that.
Let's see. Do I still have a big giant clear base? That seems. I have a not clear base. That's probably big enough.
All right. So these are the washes we're going to go into. So Lauren and I both discussed this. We like the green effect, so we're going to do the Beal Tan Green, which will go onto basically the body, the wings, the tail, obviously. Avoid the eyes and the mouth. Then what we'll do is we'll shift over to Agrax Earthshade and put that on the eyes and the mouth, and then the talons as well. Sorry, don't get green on the talons. And then on, thank you, I'm glad 1 hot minute has passed. And then we're going to put it onto the base as well. I love that the chat has adopted 1 hot minute. Thank you so much.
1 hot minute.
1 hot minute. Minute on a hot tin roof.
I cannot find, so either mine didn't come with a clear base or I can't find it.
Okay.
But
that's all right.
I have other bases. All these bases belong to me. I'm gonna take one more look in this bag because it is a clear base.
Yeah.
So maybe it is hiding in and amongst the foliage.
All right, so I'm just gonna start applying the Beal Tan. We'll
give everybody bag ASMR here. It should end up in between, but nope. All right, well, that's okay. I don't need a clear base.
It's a mystery.
I will have fun later with decorating the base.
Mm-hmm.
So Beal Tan Green for the body.
The body and the wings. Save the wings for after you get the body. Don't start with the wings. It'll become a frustrating back and forth otherwise. because you're going to be hitting these wings way more than you realize with your hands.
Mm. And also, I'm going to try to avoid actually holding on to the wings because I'm sure the super glue is still drying.
Yeah. Psst. No.
Oh yeah, I'm glad that we went with
Mm-hmm.
the green. Like right away,
Yeah.
I am already happy with how this is
It's a really neat
looking.
effect. But with Bealtan, definitely make sure you move it around a lot because it loves to puddle, and when it dries, it intensifies a little bit more. So keep it moving along your mini. Just a little quick side note.
So for those that do not have any washes, what
Mm-hmm.
would they use to create this wash?
Honestly, I would play it safe and just use a very light brown and create a brown wash. If you try and create a green wash with green paints, I have found it really does not work as well. Um, so I would go for a light brown and use that as a wash on that so you won't get as intense of a green, but it won't obliterate the work you've done.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Green washes can be fussy.
Well, and that's why I'm glad that I've got the washes, but it's also good for those moments of like, I didn't pick up a wash, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be frugal with my painting supplies. And so knowing at least uh
Honestly, a green wash is worth investing in my book.
because of its finickiness.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the first time we've used the green wash?
I think we've used it in the past on smaller sections, not on a full mini.
Hmm. I'm
Ooh, I keep
trying to
hitting the.
remember offhand, but
Like, I don't know. I don't recall if we did it with the. I think with the green dragon, maybe? We may have? Or was that Agrax?
maybe. the
Trying to remember now.
I'm failing at remembering, but we definitely haven't used it very often. If
Yeah,
we've
it's not
used
a
it,
common one.
yeah.
It's definitely not a common reach. Oh my goodness, I love this.
Yeah, I'm real glad that we went with the green. This just
Mm-hmm.
looks very, very cool. Ooh,
Yeah.
getting in between the wings gonna be a challenge.
Yep, it is.
Nope, sorry, camera. Or sorry,
Sorry,
microphone.
microphone. Sorry, thing in
Sorry,
front of me.
everybody. That's just the way it's gonna be. You're just gonna every once in
Mm-hmm.
a while, you're just gonna
Blunk.
listen to me trying to wash things, doing the wash.
Get the worst done.
And I will look for new questions in just a moment, but
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
longtime viewers will know, the washing is kind of my favorite part. Especially these big swaths of like, here, wash the
Mm-hmm.
entire body. It's like, yes.
If you insist.
That's gonna be. Hey, twist my arm some more.
Right?
What do you need me to do? Wash. Okay,
That's all you hear. Wash done.
done. Yep,
I'm here for
I'm
it.
washing. I'm doing the washing.
That's the wash I'm here for.
Just every single time,
Yeah.
it makes me so happy with just immediately the results.
Yeah.
And even though I have now known about washes for many, 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 many years, I continue to be amused and amazed.
For amazement and amusement.
Yep.
Behold the power of the wash.
Oh, tail's gonna be interesting,
Yeah, the
but
tail is definitely a lot of curlicuing fun.
okay, I gotta take a second. And Stretch and Gelatinous Rubik's Cube wants to know or is there a list of upcoming minis you'll be painting if you would like to join us and follow along, because you are not going to fail horribly. You are going to have lots of fun
Exactly.
and learn things along the way. And it's always fun. And however you paint, just for me, it's the actual act of painting is the fun part.
Yeah.
As for a list of minis, at the moment, the only other mini that we have announced is the Nightmare, which is coming up
On the
in
2nd.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are off. If you missed the beginning when we talked about this, which I'm sure a lot of people did because, this is a long stream. We
Yes.
are off next week for Extra Life, which is awesome. And then we are also off the week after that because it is American Thanksgiving. So we will be off for 2 weeks in a row. And then when we come back, there will be a special pre-recorded episode in where V has pre-recorded painting a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And the information for the nightmare is in the Discord, which I will take a drink after I am finished washing. Discord.gg/idlechampions. And so all that information is there. And then there is still 2 more weeks of shows, but I'm just going to be honest, we haven't finalized those weeks just yet. But as soon as we do, I'll go ahead and put that information in the chat. So, or not in the chat, in the Discord, so that you can grab all the stuff.
Oh my goodness.
There we go.
There are so many angles on these.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of turnarounds.
Trying to be good and like get one thing done at a time, but there's also some pooling happening on my end, so I'm trying to shift it to different spots, and then I run into the, oh yeah, go back to that zone.
Yeah,
Go
I've been
back
doing
there.
that too. Although, to be honest, I haven't been too mad at some of the pooling.
Good.
Especially since the pooling in the front is just showing off the abs.
Mm-hmm. As it should.
It's just, oh yeah. So this Jabberwock has been doing that ab work. Okay.
Yes.
And we are doing the wings. You just suggested starting with the body.
Yes. Because otherwise you'll be knocking yourself with the wings, and then they're wet, and you could do things you don't want to do. So it's just easier to get the wings after you get the body.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Fool Squeaky asks, how do you deal with using too much super glue and it squelches out? Ooh, good question.
Okay. Sacrificial brush.
Oh.
Use the brush's bristles to wick away the super glue really quick, and that'll help remove some of it. You can also try with a paper towel. However, paper towels dry faster than brushes do. Yeah, honestly, I will just quick grab a brush I know I'm ready to say goodbye to and use that to catch the puddling of the super glue. Don't do a Q-tip. Whatever you do, don't do a Q-tip.
Yeah, I could see that being a bad idea.
Oh, it's bad. Don't do that.
I could see that being a mistake. I could see that making sense until you are there, and then it's like, well, mistakes have been made.
Mm-hmm.
I've made a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
So, but what it sounds like is having, because this is not the first time you said just grab an old brush that you're not really using anymore and do this thing with it. Mm-hmm. Sounds like having a paintbrush that you're not using anymore that you can just grab for some of those is a good idea.
Yeah. It's handy to have just a couple of beat up brushes nearby because they can be used for so many quick little tweaks and fixes that you may not anticipate until you realize, oh wait, my brush can do that.
I've got a brush for that.
Oh! Hi.
Are you okay?
Yeah, Rory just jumped in, claws out, because she's spicy right now.
Ah.
This is not food, honey.
Yeah, we've had all these months of cute cats, and now here we are with the reality of the other side of having cats, of them being impatient for food.
Yep.
All of us who are just like, V has the perfect cats. They're lovely and amazing, and they just want to lay around and be cute until they want food.
Until they
give me the food.
The hungry side comes out. We're dealing with completely different critters.
And now they are hungry, hungry hippos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no falling over. Not yet, anyway.
No weebles wobble. not helping. You're not helping, darling. You're cute, don't get me wrong, but you're not helping.
I'm not trying to help. I'm trying to disrupt so that you go and make us food. Now
I'm gonna
we
be
know.
a pain.
Yeah.
I'm a terror.
All right, let me take a second. Look back for questions. Yeah, Lurking Rider says, I'm loving how the shine that is this layer of painting is already making the Jabberwock look alive. Yeah, I continue, like I said, the washes just make me happy.
They are amazing.
This one is doing a little bit of pooling in places I don't want it to, though. So let's just do a little bit of
Quick
clean up
blotting,
there. That is the other good thing about washes is like unlike painting or other painting where if you make a mistake it's like, oh, gotta grab a brush and get some water on it and quickly do a thing. If you have too much wash in a place, it's like, well, I'm just gonna rub my paintbrush over it and pick up some of that wash and it'll be fine.
Yep. Shift it over to a different zone.
All right. And now I gotta get the underside of the wings. Okay.
Oh, wow. We're already getting close to the top of the hour. I just noticed the time is.
Yeah, I saw. We are running short on time.
So basically, once you finish with the Bealtan green on the wings and everything like we're doing, then take your Agrax Earthshade and put it onto the talons and onto the base. And that'll wrap up your Jabberwock. It's really the last few things we'll be doing off camera, because I can tell you this right now, we do not want to go too much longer because we have Garwar!
Yeah!
Up
Garwar
next!
And their guide to everything. So stick around for Garwar. Make sure if you haven't logged into the game recently that you do, so that you can vote and pick up your token for voting on Hunger of the Far Realms, and also work on getting all the fun gear and stuff for Kent for Virgil and Penelope and Whittle, but mostly for Virgil, as Virgil is the latest champion to be out for Feast of the Moon.
Exactly. Lots of fun there. So, and then don't forget, on Monday, you have ICP4 happening at 4 p.m. here for episode 5, the penultimate episode. You also have the fun of Flapjack the Flump Familiar will be available in-game on Monday as our Extra Life fundraising effort. That is the first week of sales from Flapjack will be donated to Extra Life to help out kids. And let's see what else.
And he's adorable. Flapjack is adorable.
So darn cute. So darn adorable. And then what else do we have float? No. And then don't forget you have some fun things happening this weekend. Ta-da!
Oh, yeah,
hop in the game and go and do some fun things there too.
Yeah.
And what we'll do is Lauren and I will finish up our Jabberwocks and post some on our social media of choice. So make sure to check it out and see what they look like done. And as soon as we say goodbye, she's getting fed. I promise I will feed the cats, okay? They will be getting food. Look at this face. Look at this little first of all hungry kitten. But yeah, that is, I think, everything for this week. So don't forget, next week, no Paint and Slay. Week after, no Paint and Slay. Week after that, pre-recorded but fun Paint and Slay. Thank you, Jordan, for helping us out with all the questions today.
Yes, thank you.
I think that's everything besides have a fun weekend, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.